It's Persona time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the Figma number 458 DX. It's Noir from Persona 5 in the DX version, which has like the coffee table and whatnot. I really had to get that because it looks amazing. And yes, we got another one of the Phantom Thieves. I've been a big fan of Persona 5. Actually, when I started collecting the line, I wasn't, but since then I played the game and just like, masterpiece, so obviously I'm all locked in for all the Persona characters. So now, let's have a look at Noir. I feel like it's been a while with the Persona releases, so I'm really happy to have her in here finally once again. We're getting in the nitty gritty. She stands at about 13.5 centimeters to the top of her head. Let me angle this correctly. Camera is angled down, so I have to angle the figure so it looks correct. I mean, I'm looking over it, 5.2 inches to the top of the head. So there you got that detail look of the figure. It's a accurate and very nice representation of the character. Let me zoom in on the face real quick to give you the eyes. It's Persona 5, the animation, by the way, for clarification. I mean, all of them have been under that banner. I just looked at some pictures and I was thinking the art style is slightly different in promotional pictures and whatnot in the game. I say slightly, it's barely noticeable. I'm just saying, if you're saying, well, she looks a little bit different in the game, it is. There is a bit of a different look, especially around the eyes, but still, it still does look like Persona, it still does look like Haru, Noir, whatever. Got the nicely molded hair sculpt, got a bunch of strains going on over there, and a paint job all throughout the figure. It's pretty good. I don't really have anything to complain about there. You got the gold and kind of like the brooch in the neck area as we go around. Show you the entire detail on the vest. It is nicely molded, has some detail, has some wrinkles on it. You have the gold buttons all throughout it. Also the arms are painted and obviously the light pink in the chest. Everything in there is painted. The joints stand out a little bit. Not too much. That will happen. You can't really do anything about it. And I wanna stay on the chest area for a while, actually, because it's weird. You seeing that, right? It stands out. It's a bit nipply again. What is going on with Good Smile recently with all the nipply releases? And for this character, I don't feel it makes sense. Also, it seems like they're really going outside a bit too much, so it really bothers me on this one. I never thought I'd say that, but I don't think it fits the character, and also I think it looks weird. It's not lined up correctly, so what the hell. I got the purple gloves going over the hands. Also have the molded detail in there, and you have the big puffy pants, but also before that the belt, soft plastic. That's why it's a bit more shiny, but again, paint job on it is very nice. It is connected over there onto the pants, so you cannot rotate it around if you want to. We'll not get into the way of your articulation though, because you have a little bit of room to wiggle it around. And once again, the pants have some good detail on it. She has a very flat butt though, but that's because of the big pants. And pantyhose, personally I feel like a little bit of shading would have gone a long way. You know, a little bit of light gray, especially on the thighs, maybe line, but it is what it is. It still looks accurate to the game, well, anime. And then the shoes, which, yeah, it could have been a bit more shiny, but that's just nitpicking. I'm just looking for details because overall, the main package is good. Now for articulation. The head moves not really much to the back because of the hair. Moves forward nicely. Also have some neck articulation. Also, like, it kind of holds itself out because it has the double ball combination. As such, goes forward very nicely. And actually to the back a lot more if you pull it out. I forgot about it. Then side to side, tilting, and goes all the way around. And then you have the recent ball hinge with the pack going into the chest area, which you can pull out or tuck it back in. Also moves out on that side. So really, for more range, you can pull it out nicely. It goes up with the big hinge. Also have bicep swivel, or do you? Actually, you don't. Well, this is weirdly connected then. I thought that would be swivel. And I think it is, after all. But it doesn't have the greatest range because the way it's molded, so that's weird. I mean, you can just rotate it on the ball joint over here, so I don't feel it's absolutely necessary to do that. But hey, added articulation, I guess. Also, if you think that looks weird, you can just tuck it back in there. And you can hide it very well, and then again, you still have the rotation in there. Then you have a simple single ball hinge in the elbow. I couldn't decide if I want to say simple or single, and that's why I got single. There we go. Cinco de Mayo, that's over. Then we got a ball hinge in the fist, more rotation in the chest area, goes forward actually quite nicely to the back, and does tilt side to side as well. It does get pulled back though by the vest, which is soft plastic. Then you have some rotation in the hips, which actually combine those things, goes to the back very nicely, goes forward. Give it a good push actually, you have to be a little bit rough. Don't be too rough with your Figmas. I know what I'm talking about. Legs move out to the side, move forward quite nicely, and to the back. The crotch piece is soft plastic. Also have rotation in the puffy leg piece over there. Then you have actually a swivel over here and a ball hinge in the knee. And for the foot, you have another ball hinge, which is completely unhindered. Does stick out a little bit, looks a little bit weird, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Now for accessories, you got quite a bunch of stuff because it is DDX version. We got hands, well that's the normal stuff actually. I'll tell you what I think is with DDX. You got the open hands, holy hands, more closed holding hands, I guess for the axe, and this is for the grenade launcher. Actually, let's get over to the grenade launcher. We're still on the normal stuff. I'm gonna go through the normal stuff first. Very nice in detail. Actually looks pretty good. If you're a fan of Little Armory, that's also like a big thing for you. They've been doing that quite a bit. So if you want some weaponry, this is a good thing to have. You got a giant battle axe. Again, has a bunch of detail on it. Very nice scriptures. Paint job also is nice. Got the metallic blade in the front. Rest of it is cleanly painted, brown, and some beige. You got a face, well, you got this part with the mask, and you have a pack on it for the head. So you can just pack that on there, and it will stay on there, I believe, fairly well. And the best part about it, if you don't want to display her with her hat, you can still take the front piece off and you put that on the regular head we had before, so you can still display it with the mask without this weird pack. Good idea, good job, good smile. Then we got the faces. Man, she looks very pale. We got one looking to the side and one kind of like, well, one kind of angry and one kind of like surprised or very detailed. Also in the mouth detail and whatnot. But yeah, it's Haru. It fits her emotions. She's really like reserved. And for the rest of your regular stuff, you got the Figma base, which is included with every Figma, right? You got this piece, put that over there, and you can put this piece on top if you want to. You don't have to. Usually you can just also put this in the back. They all have a hole in the back if you didn't see that before. And now, this is the extra stuff. So, you got, I hate handling this. You got this tiny teacup, which has some tea in it, which you can take out if you want to. I think this is the best way to show it to you. Just holding it on my hand. Also showing you how incredibly small it is. Let me put that to the side without throwing it off my table. And as such, of course, you have hands to hold those. Well, this one isn't. It's just a pointy finger. Maybe the pointy finger is in the regular release. I'm not sure about it. But these hands are to hold the cup. And the little, well, the cup and what's underneath the cup. That's the hands for that. And of course, the star of the show, well, not really the star of the show, but the star of the DX version, I guess. The table and the chair, which is from her finishing move. Don't remember if that was like a... You have an extra name for that. Anyway, she kills everybody and she sits down. Well, yeah, they had a team move. When they do the team move and they finish somebody, and the character you had selected gets like a nice little sequence at the end, and she sits down and has some tea. And it's amazing. So you have this thing. It has some assembly required. You just put the top part over there. And then the lower part, you put these together. It has a good, it stands fairly nicely. I don't have a problem with that. Stability is nice. And the chair also looks good paint-wise. It is molded so she can sit on it. You have the kind of parts for her thighs and the butt over there, so that's nice. Let's try it out. And there we go. That's the display you're gonna get if you put everything together. I'm very happy to say she does have a very tight grip on her teacup. Not so much the lower plate, which it kind of just rests in her hand. If you put it too much lower or whatever, it might slide off. So be careful with that. But for the rest of it, I mean, that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. I love this figure, and it's absolutely a strong release and comes with some very cool accessories if you're into that kind of stuff. I have really not much to complain about except for the weird boobs, I guess. But other than that, everything else I kind of named with like, shading on the thighs and whatnot. You know, that's just extra stuff. As a result, this figure looks amazing. It's a very good representation of the character, of the show, or the game. It doesn't matter which one you look at. It still looks like Haru, it still looks like Noir. So I'm happy with it. And it's very well executed. In terms of articulation and whatnot, everything comes together very nicely. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Haru wants. By the way, yes, I do recommend it. If I didn't say it yet, I do recommend her. There you go. Yeah, you got everything.